The bay mare, once a majestic creature, now stood as a shadow of its former self. Its coat, usually gleaming copper in the sun, was now crusted with ice and snow. A deep gash marred its left flank, a testament to a fall on treacherous ice hidden beneath the snowdrift. Each breath came in ragged gasps, a symphony of exhaustion. The mare had been separated from its herd days ago, caught in the sudden fury of the blizzard. The wind, a howling beast, had driven them far from their grazing grounds, deeper into the unforgiving wilderness. Now, alone and injured, the horse was engaged in a desperate battle against the cold. The storm showed no mercy. Snow, whipped into a frenzy by the wind, lashed against the mare's flanks. Each gust stole precious warmth, chilling her to the bone. Visibility was reduced to mere feet, the world a swirling white chaos. The wind howled like a banshee, a constant, unnerving presence. It tore at the mare's resolve, whispering tales of despair. The temperature plummeted further, turning the air itself into a weapon. Survival in this frozen wasteland seemed increasingly improbable. The mare trembled violently, her energy reserves nearly depleted. Her breath came in shallow gasps, each one a monumental effort. The world around her began to fade, the whiteness blurring into a hazy, indistinct canvas. She knew she couldn't give in. Deep within her, the primal instinct to survive roared. She had to find shelter, had to keep moving. With a mighty effort, she summoned the last vestiges of her strength, forcing her battered body to take another step, then another. Unbeknownst to the mare, a beacon of hope flickered in the distance. A search party alerted to the missing herd was combing the area. Their progress was slow, hampered by the relentless blizzard, but they pressed on. They knew the time was running out for the lost animals. The faint drone of a snowmobile engine cut through the howling wind, a distant siren song in the white wilderness. The rescue team was getting closer, their determination fueled by the knowledge that a life hung precariously in the balance. For the beleaguered mare, unaware of their approach, the fight for survival continued, one agonizing step at a time, burying the familiar scents of grass and earth. Beneath the snowdrift, a chestnut mare lay still, her sides heaving with each shallow breath. Her name was Willow, and she was in trouble. Willow had wandered away from the safety of the stable, spooked by a falling branch. Now, lost and disoriented, she was at the mercy of the storm. She struggled to rise, her legs stiff and unyielding. Panic surged through her, a cold fist squeezing at her heart. Willow's strength was fading. She had been down for hours, the biting wind stealing her warmth. Her once glossy coat was now matted with ice and snow. The world around her was a blur of white, the silence broken only by the mournful whistle of the wind. Exhaustion pulled at Willow, urging her to surrender, but something deep inside, a primal instinct, kept her clinging to life. She shifted slightly, trying to find a more comfortable position. A sharp pain shot through her leg, bringing a whimper to her lips. Looking down, she saw the gash on her foreleg, a jagged wound opened up by a fall. The snow around it was stained crimson, a stark contrast to the pristine white. Her breath hitched as she noticed the other injuries, the scrapes on her flanks, the frostbite creeping into the edges of her ears. Each breath was a labor, each movement sending fresh waves of agony through her battered body. The cold was seeping into her bones, turning her muscles to lead. Fear, sharp and cold, tightened its grip on her. The wind howled, a furious beast tearing through the valley. Snow swirled around Willow, piling up against her, threatening to bury her alive. The temperature continued to plummet, the air growing thin and icy. The world was a symphony of white and grey, a blinding, disorienting chaos. Willow shivered uncontrollably, her body no match for the relentless assault of the storm. She was alone, lost in a wilderness of white. No familiar sounds reached her. No comforting nickers of her herd mates, no reassuring bark of a farm dog. Time lost all meaning. Minutes stretched into hours. each one an eternity of pain and cold. The storm raged on, an unstoppable force of nature, indifferent to her plight. Just when the darkness threatened to consume her, a sound cut through the howling wind, a distant drone growing louder by the second. Willow's head lifted slightly, her ears twitching. Was it just her imagination, or was that the rumble of an engine? The sound grew closer, resolving itself into the unmistakable roar of a snowmobile. Hope, fragile but insistent, flickered within her. Human voices, muffled but distinct, reached her ears. They were searching, calling out a name that sounded like her own. Willow struggled to raise her head to whinny a response, but her body refused to obey. The effort sent a jolt of pain through her, and she slumped back onto the snow, her eyes fixed on the approaching lights. They were her only hope, her only chance of survival.
Of crunching snow. Engines roar in the distance. A flash of red cuts through the white wilderness. The mountain rescue team arrives. 2 snowmobiles, sleek and powerful, skid to a stop. Behind them, a massive amphibious vehicle, its tracks churning, leaves a trail in the fresh powder. This is no ordinary rescue. The team bursts forth, their arrival a symphony of motion. Every second counts, every movement precise. They're here to save a life. Red and blue jackets, wind-whipped but defiant, stand out against the blinding snow. The Mountain Rescue logo, a beacon of hope, is emblazoned on their shoulders. These are no ordinary clothes. Insulated, waterproof, built for the harshest conditions. These jackets are armor against the elements. Each member carries specialized equipment. Ropes, carabiners, ice axes gleam under the pale sky. They are ready for anything the mountain throws at them. The team leader, his face etched with concern, barks out orders. Every member knows their role. They are a well-oiled machine. The medic, her medical backpack slung over her shoulder, rushes towards the injured creature. Her eyes scan for injuries, her hands already reaching for supplies. The climber, agile and strong, prepares his ropes and harness. The animal specialist, her voice calm and soothing, approaches the frightened animal. There, half buried in the snowdrift, lies the horse. Its chest rises and falls in ragged breaths. One leg is twisted at an unnatural angle. The animal specialist speaks softly, her words calming the frightened creature. The medic assesses the injuries, her face a mask of concentration. The team leader directs the climber, who begins to secure the area. The rescue is underway. Hope, fragile but real, flickers in the cold air.
The team carefully approaches the horse. The medic kneels to assess its injuries, while the climber secures the area with ropes to prevent further danger. The animal specialist readies tranquilizers and calming equipment. The team leader communicates with the helicopter team through a headset. The horse lies motionless, its injuries and frost-covered coat consistent with earlier scenes.
Leg with a bandage.
The medic begins treating the horse's wounds, applying antiseptic and wrapping its injured leg with a bandage. The animal specialist uses a calming device to reassure the horse, while the climber uses gear to stabilize the horse's position on the icy ground. The team's vehicles and tools are visible in the background. Works together, with the medic cleaning and dressing the wounds, while the animal specialist checks for frostbite and dehydration. The climber ensures the team's safety by securing ropes in the icy terrain. The horse starts to show slight signs of responsiveness. Snowmobiles and rescue equipment surround the scene. Medical tools like a stethoscope and thermometer, the medic checks the horse's vitals. The animal specialist offers hydration and warmth with a thermal blanket. The climber monitors the area for potential hazards. The horse's condition begins to stabilize, though its injuries are still evident. The horse is now recovering. An Arctic fox appears, guiding the team to a safer path away from an impending avalanche. The fox's fur is thick and white, blending into the snowy terrain. The rescue team, recognizing the danger, follows the fox, bringing their gear and the horse along. The vehicles remain consistent, parked nearby. In a temporary, team uses ropes, pulleys, and nets to lift the horse onto a stretcher. The medic continues tending to its injuries
Carefully
while
loads
the
the
animal
horse onto a
specialist
sled
reassures
attached to a
it.
snowmobile.
The climber
The medic
assists
and
in
animal
maneuvering the
specialist stay
stretcher
close
over
to
the
monitor
uneven
its
terrain.
condition.
The
climber
vehicles and
ensures the
tools
path
are
is
prominently
clear and safe for
displayed
transport.
as the team
The
works in
helicopter
unison.
hovers nearby, ready
The
to
horse
assist.
shows signs of improvement, lifting its head and becoming more alert. The medic applies a final round of treatment, while the animal specialist feeds the horse and monitors its condition. The environment remains snowy, but less stormy, with sunlight
The horse is
breaking
now
through the
recovering in a
clouds.
temporary shelter set up by the rescue team.
The team carefully
Stands on
loads
its
the
own,
horse
but
onto a
remains under
sled
observation.
attached to a
Bandages are
snowmobile.
visible on its leg.
The medic and
its
animal
frostbite is
specialist
healing.
stay close to
The
monitor
team
its
surrounds
condition.
the horse, offering
The climber
food and
ensures
water.
the path
The
is
environment
clear and
calm,
safe for
with soft
transport.
light reflecting
The
off.
helicopter hovers nearby, ready to assist if needed. The horse is now recovering in a temporary shelter set up by the rescue team. It stands on its own, but remains under observation. Bandages are visible on its leg, and its frostbite is healing. The team surrounds